Dude, I'm thinking hard about TRT.
Do it.
TRT is
I was
testosterone replacement therapy. It's
yeah.
basically roids. And what happened is
I'm already too stressed out all
I-
the goddamn time.
dude, I went down you know how you get in like a YouTube rabbit hole, right? Where like, I don't know, you watch a cello video and suddenly YouTube thinks you're really fucking into cellos. And you just like another one pops up. And so
Happened with me with yodeling like 4 days ago.
did it? Oh, that's awesome.
Yep.
Was it that Asian yodeling guy?
Yep, I watched the Asian yodeling guy. I watched
I've seen
I watched
all
a lot
his
of
stuff.
yodeling videos. Yep.
He's yodeling since he was a kid. Like you go back, he's like old in the newest video, and then you go back in time. He's been yodeling since the 80s or something like that.
He's
I'm sorry,
a
what do you
master yodeler. Yep.
So I watched Matt Serra talk about his TRT. And dude, what happens is he's talking about his TRT experience, but he's talking about me, right? He's like, you know, I quit fighting, and he's like, I started doing a little less. I'm like, what? Maybe I'm just like a lazy guy, got a little heavier, whatever. And he's like, I get on TRT, I got energy all the time. I'm stronger, I'm better. He's like, I know I'm fat. Now, Matt Serra's not that fat. I've seen him with his shirt off. The problem is he's 5'6", and he can't gain a pound without it looking like tubby. But you look at him more objectively, and you're like, you know, that's kind of just a guy built like a fire hydrant. And he's like, I know I'm fat, but God, like the way I eat, whole pizzas, pastas, this, I should be way fatter than this. And I'm like, man, and I start then I go down the YouTube rabbit
What's
hole.
the age that they like recommend you start doing it as like an adult?
I don't know
guy?
that there is. I don't know the answer to that. Joe Rogan was talking about it, and so he's been on TRT for like 15 years now or something.
Yeah, look at his fucking head. It's HGH.
That's a whole different drug.
That might be HGH that does that,
Yeah,
but the
it's HGH.
testosterone, he seems to love that. He thinks it's the greatest. He's talking about the importance of having all of his levels checked. You know, he's like, you know, you got to get everything. You could be low on niacin. You got to take that shit seriously. But so yeah, they check you all the time and whatever. And these guys, obviously they're working out a lot, but like working out when you're like successful and having gains and have energy and stuff, it's not the same as dragging your tired ass to the gym against your own will. And I think that's what PEDS does. It turns it into like a thing where you're bouncing off the walls and you have energy. And I forget which one of them it was. It might have been Matt Serra. He's like, I like to keep my testosterone level around, you know, like a 23-year-old. He's like, that's where I'm happy. I'm like, no shit. And someone asked him about his sex drive or his erections or something like that. And Matt Serra is hilarious because he's not shy about masturbating at all. And he's like, oh, let me tell you about my cock. I wake up in the morning, fucking thing, gigantic, hard as a rock, blue steel. And he's like, you know, I got to take care of it right then just to do something about it. And he's like, you know, average day. He's like, I jerk off like twice a day maybe and jump on my wife like 5 times a week, you know. And I'm just like, damn, that's a hell of a schedule you're maintaining there. And that's like teenager Woody right there.
That's like a 20-hour work week.
You might want to cut that. They might want to cut that testosterone down a notch or two. That sounds a little fucking excessive.
If you watch,
he's like, well, I wake up and compulsively masturbate for an hour, then I start my day.
If you watch, what is his show with Dana White called?
Fighter and the Kid.
Nope, it's like to watch a fight, to catch a fight.
Oh, the one with Jim Norton.
That's the
Jim
podcast.
Norton, Matt Serra.
This is a Netflix special. It's Dana White and it's Matt Serra.
Ah, Looking for a Fight.
Thank you. It's Looking for nailed it. So if you watch Looking for a Fight, sometimes they'll be like, Matt won't leave his room. He's in there jerking off. It's not even a secret. Sometimes he yells through the door like, 5 more minutes. I'm still jerking off. You know, like he's not at all. He's like Jim Norton with the prostitutes, except he's solo. He's happy to talk about it. And anyway, they just go through the problems that they solved and where they are now with this TRT. And I'm like, damn, like this just seems wonderful. So I looked into the cost, and it's like $50 to $100 a month. And
all right, I'm going too.
like, you take that to the high end.
I'm not going to be the only one who's not on it. That's not fair.
Let's say it's $100 a month, and that's $1,200 a year. Now I'm going to downgrade it, but $1,000 a year for this, that's worth it.
Oh yeah,
right?
That's nothing.
Yeah, that's
I
not
feel
much
like
at all.
people are on Adderall for that much or something.
It's actually very cheap. It's like pennies, but like protein powder alone, anything you do to you could order those Tybo tapes and they would cost you that much,
Right?
like $100 a month.
That's like a whole year of whey protein and pre-workout, right? Like that's about it.
Yeah.
If you say,
Yeah, actually,
yeah.
It's about that
So
expensive,
there's a
yeah.
place in Raleigh. I have to look it up. I'll find the name immediately. Because
like a clinic?
one of the things that the pros I referred to, like Matt Sarah, Joe Rogan, maybe Dana White too, they were saying that you want to go to like someone who does this, like nearly like they need to be about TRT. Like, don't go to your family doctor and get some testosterone prescribed to you, because they might not know what to look for, warning signs, too much, too little, etc. He's like, you want to go to a TRT, a guy who has real expertise in it. And here it is. It's called the Raleigh Clinic for Men, and apparently they're all about like there's specialists there, and they talk about all the things they've tried. Like, people take pills, 98% of it's not absorbed. This, that. They like to put a pellet in your butt or something else. And by the way, I was very concerned about the in your butt thing, but they mean in your butt cheek, not in the middle. So, yeah.
And it probably actually forces you to work on your glutes because you're holding that pellet there all day.
Yeah. So
Question: how do you think? Like, if we all, like, just hypothetical, funny, Woody decides I'm getting on T, and Kyle goes, I'm pulling the trigger, and I go, I don't want to be left out. I'm going to. How does this show begin to change, either quickly or slowly?
Lots of arguments. Lots of like red face screaming followed by sobbing.
I'm picturing.
You don't talk to me like that. You don't disparage my wife and my life like that. I'm so sorry.
Like Woody would be like just the peak.
To me,
Woody's 43. Like, you'd be right at your prime. You'd be like, I'm feeling good. I'm banging on all cylinders. What'd you guys get done today? And I'd be like, I yelled at birds for an hour. Like just whatever.
See, that's one thing. I don't want to be a dick on it. Like, I'd rather be soft than an asshole. But my thought was porn talk every episode, girl talk every episode. I just like sexually rabid was my
Sexually rabid.
yeah.
Politics talk.
Results you'd like to see? Drop that line. I would like to become sexually rabid. Could you make that happen for me?
I want people around me to fear, so to speak, that my vitality might, swell over onto them. But
I remember I was in high school and I was walking behind the cute girl on the stairs, and I was looking at her ass. And I was like, oh my God, this is so perfect, what I'd love to be doing to it. And then it dawned on me, like, every girl in this school has a pussy. How amazing is that? Any one of them I'd be happy with right now. And this is the thought process of like 16-year-old Woody.
Yeah, a 16-year-old man. Yes.
I hope I don't. I need to ask for, like, can you make me 28 when I had some, it's like, when I could think about something else, some control, exactly.
Yeah.
16-year-old Woody is too far.
Just tell the doctor, like, look, I got in a lot of trouble in my young years, so we don't want 23-year-old testosterone, Woody. Trust me, and neither does the state. I've been.
Yeah.
If you could bump on up to 29-year-old Woody, when I'd really reined it in a little bit, I think all my neighbors would appreciate it.
29-year-old Woody was a productive member of society. Let's do him. We like that guy.
It sounds really cool. I was talking about it just the other day to someone else. It sounds like magic in a bottle, and at $100 a month. If you'd said $500, I'd been like, is it worth it? I mean, that is a car payment, but man, if it makes you a whole new human being, I guess maybe.
What I said was 50 to 100. Yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine if it's 50.
Yeah.
yeah,
Like maybe
$600 a year.
your picks up half of this or something.
We'll see. So yeah,
I
the
don't
thing
think that
is,
you would get a Kyle, because it just seems like you're too young. Like you.
Well,
like,
they
there's
test
no
it
way.
first. Like they're not gonna they don't just top you off. Like they take a blood test and they'd be like, oh, you could use 0.8 milligrams of test. However they fucking.
I feel
How
like
do you
Taylor's
fake it?
right. Like, you guys probably have the T level that I'll get to. You're already there. You don't see a lot of 30. You're 30 even.
Yeah.
You don't see anyone doing TRT at 30. You're really talking about roids.
Mostly professional athletes.
Yeah. At this point, you're like,
wait, what would Kyle and I have to do to get our level low enough, even for like a day, to just show up?
You want the answer?
Yeah.
It's alcohol. Alcohol does it. Alcohol lowers your testosterone level dramatically. You put on a real fucking bender the night before, your testosterone level will be very low the next day.
You know what
but
else?
They'll probably detect that.
Nope.
You know what lowers T that's a thing from... So the reason I haven't already like made a call just to see where it goes is if you're not sleeping well, that hurts your T levels.
I read that as well, yeah.
Did you? Yeah. So tomorrow morning,
stay up all night drinking.
Yeah, double whammy.
I'm here for my appointment. What are we? I don't know. Yeah.
Tomorrow morning, I get that. Everyone knows CPAP, but mine's actually a BPAP machine. It's like an advanced version, and we have hopes that is a game changer for me. So we'll see. Maybe I wake up with more tea and better rest, and I'm just pumping on all cylinders all the time.
Yeah,
you think dude, I wake up
it really interests me. I hope you do it, because I'm really interested in it too, and I would love to get the ins and outs.
You're talking about the TRT,
yeah.
I'm sorry, I thought you were talking about the BPAP. I'm like, dude,
no, I sleep just fine. No snoring here. But like anytime that if you told me like, hey, we got this thing over here, it'll make you stronger. I'm like, well fucking how much? We got this other thing over here. It makes you faster. In what part of my day is being strong and fast important?
Sprinting groceries to the car.
Never it's like, oh, god damn, I can put a 36-pack of soda in each hand. All right, like that's it, right? But still, it's a really attractive thing. I want it. I want the power, the literal power. That's what you're talking about. You're talking about becoming literally more powerful.
I imagine everything you pick up when you're on it being like when you just finished like lifting, like either working out or lifting something really heavy, like helping someone move, and then you like pick up a jug of milk, and you usually have to give it a little oomph because it's just yank it out of that thing, and you just like Excalibur. It's so light.
It seems
swinging
to
it around.
Yeah.